I'm just saying. At least
I'm saying it's absolutely debatable. So we're live.
Sure.
And I noticed in the background, despite all of my prep, there is a folded up cat carrier behind me.
Cat got away, baby.
Yeah, well, that's just the carrier. So, Leftover got shaved a couple weeks ago. He looks like a majestic lion now. So I want to thank everybody. Woody's off today. He's not going to be. He already actually is there. He's at the New York Accounting Show. Goes every year.
That's in Long Island, correct?
I don't know. No, I think it's right in the city. I don't know.
Okay, just was making conversation.
Yeah, you know what? I used to know, like maybe not even that long ago. I used to know, but now I don't know. So it's gone. It's gone from my head. I've learned other things, which has pushed that information out. So Woody's not here tonight. So it's just my best friend Dawn and I. I'm kind of excited. I want to do, so I know that the email reminder went out and it had some very specific things that we were going to talk about. And I want to talk about one of those. I do want to do a demo. I found a new browser this morning and I installed it at about 6 o'clock in the morning. I woke up way too early and this is a problem for me. I'm not liking my headphones either today. They're bothering me because they're stretching.
Yeah, you're stretched out a little. I can see the cord.
It's driving me slightly crazy. Maybe if I do this. No, that's better. Anyway, I'll deal with that. We'll fix that for next week. So I got up way too early this morning. And so while I was reading the Twitters, which is usually what I do when I wake up before an hour and a half before my alarm goes off, I get online and I get to the Twitters, and so I found a new browser. It's not even really in beta yet. It's just kind of like a technical download, and you can kind of play with it. And not a lot of features are available, but there's one thing that it does that I think is super badass in regards to QBO, which is why I downloaded it and why it kind of stuck out in my head. But then instead of answering questions, or maybe in addition to, we'll see how much time we have, what I thought would be fun, Dawn, is if you and I maybe shared some stories about our sponsors and how we've used, we don't have to do all of them. I was thinking maybe, we could talk about Unidata. I had a really great experience with Unidata. We could just talk a little bit about how you and I use our sponsors and have our clients use our sponsors. Not really, and if we don't mention one of them, we'll get to, we'll mention them maybe next week. But I just thought it would be kind of fun because I've had a lot going on with Unidata lately, and I just kind of wanted to talk about that. And then I know you use T-Sheets, and we both have gone through the loan application process with Fundera, and I wanted to talk about that too. So if you're cool with that, I just wanted to change it up a little bit. You cool?
Hey, I'm as cool as they come.
I know you are, but I mean, are you cool with this?
I love it. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
Okay. So, sponsors, that being said, I want to thank our sponsors, and our sponsors are Avalara.com. They make sales tax less taxing. So if you have any clients who have some complex sales tax issues, they maybe have nexus in a few different areas, or they just don't want to deal with it. Maybe you have clients like a couple of mine who just deal with the state of Michigan and just don't want to do it anymore. You definitely want to take a look at Avalara. We also have T-Sheets. Dawn uses T-Sheets in her practice. T-Sheets is time tracking, online time tracking. One of the great things I love is I was just talking to my ex-boss about, we'll talk about that in a minute. But anyway, T-Sheets does a lot of, it's a really cool, I think it's probably one of the nicest, I think it's the best time tracking tool that's out there. We also have Fundera, Fundera.com. They don't actually do the loans, but what they do is they pull your data in from QuickBooks Online, and then they kind of take a look at it, and then they say, okay, based on your financial data that we're looking at, here are 4 or 8 different loans that you could qualify, small business loans, and then they really walk you through the loan process. I mean, they handhold you, and it's so much easier. Having gone through a few mortgages and having had help my clients go through some business loans, really great process. SkylineCloudServices.com which a lot of people may know as Unidata IT. They've rebranded as Skyline Cloud Services. They do QuickBooks and other application hosting. And I want to talk about them a little bit tonight once we get through the browser thing. And I have a couple questions for Dawn, just because I made a huge change in my practice, and it actually is like in place right now. This is the first sort of go live with it that we've had, the big change that I made. And then we have QVinci.com, and QVinci does consolidated. It gives you a consolidated reporting dashboard, so you can pull multiple QuickBooks files in at once and get a consolidated report. So for me, it's really cool because I can look at our RFQ and I can look at Kildall Services at the same time. And it's really cool, and it really helps out for tax planning for me. But you can, if you're franchises, I know a lot of the Catholic dioceses are using them. Anywhere that you have a lot of, different QuickBooks data files or QuickBooks online accounts, or both, you can put them together with QVinci. And then the last thing I want to mention is please join the chat. If you use the hashtag, which is our Twitter handle, which is QBShow Live, from now until about the first week of June, we're going to pick 4 to 6, however many I kind of feel like picking, people that I have seen using the hashtag on Twitter, and we're sending out t-shirts. So we're sending out these gorgeous green t-shirts that I was really worried about the color, but everybody seems to really like. Like them, and so you can win a t-shirt. And then what's really cool is if you wear the t-shirt to Scaling New Heights, which is January 22nd, 23rd, or no, June 22nd, 23rd, and you're seen with your QBShow shirt on, somebody can give you a card. If you're seen and you're spotted, you'll get a card, and on the back of the card, you're going to go to that exhibitor and you'll get a special prize from one of our sponsors. So want to make sure you use the hashtag, and the easiest way to do that is if you go to NURPH, NURPH.com, sign in with your Twitter handle, and go to NURPH.com/QBShow Live, and it's just like a chat room. So absolutely,
Easier than using Twitter.
It's to follow a conversation like this, it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot easier to follow the hashtag, and it will automatically add the hashtag to anything that you put in there. So it's kind of neat. I really like it. I have to completely thank Kathy Iconis. I had seen it, and then I didn't really know if it was going to work, and I kind of started using it for her Thursday afternoon QBO chats, and so I kind of let her test it out, make sure that it worked, and it works really great. And so do that. So that's that. Dawn, what do you have going on? You got any good stories? Anything interesting?
I would say the most interesting thing is that Powerful Accounting is installing a basketball quarter court on the side of the office for our health improvement program.
Really? That's interesting. Like a basketball court with like a hoop and everything?
Yeah, if you don't mind just for a moment.
I don't mind at all. Go for it.
Take a quick little, this will be the first, kind of introduction, and I don't mind every week just taking 2 seconds to show the progress. But this is outside the door at Powerful Accounting. There's the deck. There's the hoop right there. And there's the court. And it's all ready to go with the exception of we're going to get the asphalt put down here in the next week or so. 3-point lines and others painted. Nice Powerful Accounting powered by Team Brolin logo painted on the court. And that's going to be our exercise program.
That is awesome. So what if I work for you and I don't play basketball? Would I be required to play basketball?
No, it's actually by invite only. And their application process.
Okay.
To play on the court. We're considering a small trampoline.
I would jump on a trampoline.
Nope. To dunk.
Oh.
So, but you know what? That's still okay. You know what? You could just trampoline if you were not into basketball, but
I would. That's what I would do.
We got a 72-inch backboard with pads. The whole pole is padded, and that's what we're doing. So that's kind of fun and new. We decided that having the office where it's located, there's not a lot to do here, and walks are boring for Dawn Brolin. So we're just decided to install a quarter court and paint, just do it. We're going for it. So a couple came down. Don't worry, we're going to plant some more for those of you who are into trees. But things are going really well. We've got a lot of really great fraud cases coming in the door. I'm staring at a FedEx box for one right now, and we love it. And for the first time, this would be really great encouragement for everyone.
Okay.
And I think that you hit the nail on the head as you spoke earlier about launching your new practice and what you're focused on. And so I had a phone call with someone today, and they had asked a question about training and doing some QuickBooks training and getting involved in something. And I said no. And I said no. Well, I said no for the specific purpose of right now our focus is in the fraud cases and in the clients that we have that we already do training with, that we already work with, that we're doing, that I don't want to lose our focus on the fraud area. And so it's just so exciting to be able to say no to something or a potential opportunity that, we get calls for new client calls or these things. And I just felt so good about saying, believe me, I love training in QuickBooks.
Right.
And it's great. And I do it every day with my clients. I answer questions every single day. But our firm focus right now is on the fraud, and it was okay to say no to something. Doesn't mean I'm not training in QuickBooks.
Right.
That opportunity, I felt, and I don't remember, I was actually at the conference in April. It's still April, but I can't even tell. That someone said, when you say yes to an opportunity, if you're saying yes to a new client, you're saying no to something else. And so, not saying that you don't take on new clients. It's not.
I understand what you're saying.
As awesome as she said it, but I was like, yeah, you know what? When I go ahead and, just say yes to so many things, I'm saying no to things that I'm really passionate about.
Yep.
And so I'm growing up a little bit and trying to learn. And so I can certainly appreciate what you're doing, and it's hard work, and you know what? It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, and that's what we were talking about. So, and I've written a couple articles. Wrote one for stacyk.net. You are mentioned, but not specifically by name. You'll know the reference to you when you read the article if you haven't already, Dawn. But it's really about and
I always get nervous when you say that.
No, you'll know. It's something good.
Which article so I can read tonight?
If you just go to stacyk.net, it's the one, right? It's the Lego one. It's all about Lego. So
I love seeing that Lego thing. That thing is, you blow my mind. I don't know how you do it.
You just put the pieces together. It's not hard. It just takes a long time.
You go like this with a wand, and they just like, woo!
No, it took like 11 hours. And so, I know, right? So, and it really is like during that 11 hours, like that, and this sounds really, really silly, but you should read the article and you'll understand. For those of you who are watching the show, I got a little like choked up because that whole Lego kit like represents so much. Like that's what I realized while I was doing it, that it really represents like basically like this culmination of what I've been doing for the last 10 years and just the time that I put into it, and my husband and my kids, and you have helped, and Woody, and Chris Repetto and Kim Amsbaugh and Andy and Chetta, Donna Oman and Donna Duncan and Richard Ropa and all the people who, and I'm forgetting a million of them, all the people that have helped over the last 11 years do that. And so that's kind of what that article was, just kind of a reflection and just gratitude about being in a position where I could spend 11 hours on a Wednesday, not even an afternoon, basically like an entire day, just sitting there playing Lego. And it was really cool. And then I wrote another article for Intuitive Accountant. I'm writing kind of a series about this process. So I had the epiphany today, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to realize it. But it really is truly like it's like starting an entirely new business. I'm launching Stacy K Academy, which is I've had so many people email me over the last couple weeks and months and couple years, basically asking me, hey, how do you do what you do? I want to know how you do what you do. And so I finally decided last December, at the end of last year, actually last fall, to say, okay, rather than doing this one-off coaching consulting work with pro advisors, I'm going to kind of standardize something and take all of the tools that we use every single day, that Shannon and I use every single day, and kind of put them all together in a training program. And that's what this is. And it's really, I mean, the tagline is to help you kick ass in your pro advisor practice, perfecting your pro advisor practice. And these are road tested, proven solutions that we use every single day as a QuickBooks Online based pro advisor, bookkeeping consulting company. And it's really tough. And so that's what this article, Intuitive Accountant, was about, was just like relearning. So about how it took like patience, and just how so many things in your personal life kind of parallel what's going on in your business life. And so it's been, it's kind of a emotional little roller coaster the last couple weeks. But anyway, let's get into, I want to do a quick screen share. And so while I mentioned I was on the Twitter this morning, and I found this app, and let me get it started first, and then I'm going to do a screen share, and it's called Vivaldi, Vivaldi, and let me get over here and close out. So I want to do a screen share. Hold on. Screen share. Where are you? Here we go. So let me know if you can see that. It's like mountains. Can you see that, Dawn?
It's very pretty. Is that like it's an airplane view?
Yeah, but you can see it, right? That's what I'm asking. So
Oh, yes, absolutely. I thought you wanted me to tell you about how awesome it looks.
No, I just am wondering if you could see the screen.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's definitely, it's Vivaldi. And so it looks kind of chromy. You have, kind of the speed dial is what they call it, and you can add different apps. It's really easy. So if I wanted to go to, let's say I wanted to go to, and I have it here in my bookmarks, or I did. Oh no, that was on my other one, on my laptop. So I got a new iMac today. And so if I want to go to QuickBooks Online, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to set this up on my speed dial, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add that. So now I have QBO, and I can launch it whenever I just launch the browser. Some of the things, so this is basically like your shortcuts, the things that you go to all the time. I'm going to maybe plug this over here so I have all this up. If I don't want this, if I click on it, it's going to open it up. But I can go back here, and if I don't want it on there, I can just go ahead and delete it from the speed dial. You can add different folders, so I could maybe put some, maybe all my social media right here in this folder. So I could create, social media, and I could put, Facebook here, and I could put, maybe Twitter, and maybe add, Hootsuite. So, and that would be my social media. And then over here on my speed dial, I could then, get rid of, the Twitter and the Facebook. And so have my social media right there, and have my launch, and launch it right from there. I think it's a little bit easier to get to than some of the bookmarks. These are bookmarks that come loaded in the program, and you can actually take these folders and you can kind of drop them up there too, and move them around. So it's actually pretty cool program. You can import, what's kind of neat is you can, update the thumbnail if you need to, and it'll kind of change it up. Coming soon, some of the things that are coming soon is you'll be able to have your mail integrated right directly in the browser. I'm not exactly sure. Again, this is not even quite in beta yet. Your contact list, these are all of your downloads. So this is your download list. And then what I love is the ability to take little notes. So you can actually go in and say, hey, I'm taking a note about whatever it is that you're reading. So you might be looking at something on the Twitter and see something that's interesting and maybe copy and paste it, and you can add URLs. So I really like these little notes that you have right there in the browser. And then you can go ahead and you can shrink them up. But here, I'm going to show you guys why I wanted to try this out. And this is the reason, because you can actually, let me log in here to my demo account if I can remember my password. So I've been using it all day, basically for just for QBO. So I'm the kind of person who I right now have two, and we'll get to the Macs in a minute, but I have a 27-inch iMac and I have another 27-inch Thunderbolt display next to it. So I have dual monitors. So I could conceivably, pull this over and move it and have different tabs, maybe rip this tab off and have different windows open if I want to. But because I have such a big screen, I don't really need to. So I'm logged into QBO. Maybe I'm over here and I'm in this client and I want to take a look at the P&L. But then I want to maybe look at, I did a conversion today. So I want to look at maybe P&L and a balance sheet, and then I want to compare it to desktop. So I've got my P&L open. I cloned it. So I right-clicked over here, and similar to Google Chrome, rather than duplicate, it says clone. So I'm just basically copying it over here. So now I'm going to go back to my reports, and I want to take a look at my balance sheet. So you following me so far?
Following.
Okay. So what I can do over here, and maybe I'll have I'll have my Gmail open right here. We'll just say, let's open my, oh my gosh, if I can type. So I'll have my Gmail open. So I've got this open right here. So I've got these. So if I right click on one of these, what I can do is I can stack similar tabs. So if you have more than one tab open on a particular website, you can group the similar tabs. So now I've got one tab that has both of those. So it's not taking up real estate up here. And I can get to both of those really easily. Here's the P&L, here's the balance sheet. But this is the best part, and this is the thing that I freaking love, is I can now right click again and I can tile these tabs. So now for those of you who only have one monitor or who don't want to pull the tabs off and, take the Gmail and, move it to a different monitor or whatever, you have both of these windows. These are separate tabs and they're both open in one window. So I happen to think that this is freaking awesome. I absolutely love it. And somebody is asking if Vivaldi works with LastPass. I have no idea. Really, you guys have seen as much as I've figured out. It's easy to bookmark. It's easy to search. Over here, you have a really easy Google search. There's tons and tons. If you want to do your settings, you can go down here and set it as your default browser. You can set your home page up as whatever you want. I really don't know if it works with with LastPass at all. I like to use the transparent tabs, so you can have your tab position wherever you want. You can put them on the bottom if you want, so you can have your tabs down here so you have a little bit more real estate. I can see using this during my demos. I just am really, really excited about the fact that you can tile those tabs. I think that for us, because most of us have multiple monitors, you could even, it's just, and I don't know about different users and things like that as of yet, but so far, like I said, it's still in beta, but I think that this is super badass. Don't you think that this is kind of cool that you can have multiple tabs open, especially when you're dealing in QBO? you know, when you're doing some accounting stuff, like you're always like, what this would have been perfect last week for for Valerie to show the bank feed in one screen and the register in the other, and she would have had one tab open rather than having to go back and forth from tab to tab. Don't you think?
Agreed.
Like I freaking love, love, love this app. And I mean, I love the fact that you can put the tabs kind of anywhere that you want to. So far I'm in love with this, and I can't wait to see some of the other stuff that they have coming up. So I wanted to really like as soon as I saw this, I really wanted to share this with everybody. So hopefully that was helpful, and I hope you really like it. And you can sync bookmarks. It's kind of like Chrome where you can sync your bookmarks across computers. So if you log in, go to the website or just Google Vivaldi browser. So far, I'm ridiculously excited simply because of this. Like basically from now on, I'm not going to be opening up QBO. And so I haven't run across it being funky. So you know how it's optimized for Chrome? QuickBooks Online is optimized for Chrome. I was in this pretty much all day, and it worked perfectly. Like it never crashed. It never gave me any funky anything. The only issue I had was that there was one time where I was trying to log into this specific account, and I couldn't remember my username and password. So that was a user error. That was the only time that I had experienced any trouble. So just wanted to share that out. Thought it was really, really a cool thing, and I hope you guys take a look at it and check it out. I have no idea who these people are who are making this browser, but I just thought that that was something that I've never seen in a browser, and so I just wanted to share it because I thought it was, I mean, just amazingly awesome and badass to use with QuickBooks Online. Or even like Gmail, you could have multiple, you know, things open, and there's the possibilities are virtually endless. That's all I wanted to say.
Very nice.
What do you think? Do you like it?
I think it's very cool.
I kind of love it. I mean, I used it all day in QBO, and I just love it. So I was doing bank recs in it for a lot of the day. And so I would have, you know, like the bank rec screen. And then if I had to go, I had it open in another screen, another tab tiled next to it. And so if there was a transaction missing, I didn't have to leave the bank rec screen and go back and forth between the tabs or even back and forth between the windows. Everything was right in front of me. There's a cat right there. There's my old lady cat. That's Ethel. So hopefully everybody likes it. Hope you like it.
I like it.
That's my demo for the untested, not quite even in beta testing.
Fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I happened to see it in my Twitter feed this morning. It was like I don't even know, maybe it was like the Next Web or something like that had posted it. So I was pretty excited about it.
Rocking.
Yeah, and I think it might be, the Opera people, the people who make the Opera browser, I think.
Opera?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure. Oh, yes, Richard just posted on the Twitters that, yes, it's the Opera people. So there you go.
Apparently they sing as well.
Yeah. So I like Opera. That's a great browser too. So it's a technical preview. It's not even technically in beta. It's a technical preview is what it is. And you can get it for Mac, you can get it for Windows, and you can get it for Linux. So just FYI. And there's a ton of keyboard shortcuts. That's one thing I didn't show. But if you go into that little settings, that little gear icon that I was in, where I was changing the tabs from the top to the bottom and over to the left and right, there's a million keyboard shortcuts. And so I'm like a keyboard shortcut freak. So I was really excited to find all those. Really very excited. So, but we have a question for you. I have a question for you, Dawn.
I know, and I'm getting to open up the sample file so I can demo the answer.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Sure.
Are you ready for the question?
Yep.
Is this the sample one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we have a question. Can you customize all reports through the company settings section. For example, if you want all of the reports to have the same header on the left or in a certain font, if so, where do you go to do that?
Okay.
And I know that this is not possible. It's a default in QBO. You're doing desktop, right?
Of course I am.
Well, come on.
Who are we talking to here?
Okay, so you're gonna screen share?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so then while you're screen sharing that, while you're getting that ready, I'll open up QBO.
I'm ready.
Okay, go for it.
I'm sharing my desktop. Start screen share. Okay. Can you see my screen?
I can. I see me on your screen. It's very time warpy.
Little sample rock castle construction. Can you see it?
Yes.
All right. So I'm in obviously Accountant Desktop 2015. Anyone that can read, you can see that at the top. That's how sharp I am. I'm just also going to show, because you know what? There are people who still don't know, and I want to solve their pain point, that you can actually change the icon bar to the top so that you feel like you're back into your normal zone again and you know what you're looking at. I also just real quick open window list so you can be back to, this is how I operate in desktop. So I just thought I'd give that tip to people because I have clients. So if you have clients who have asked, how do I move the icon bar to the top? That's how you do it. And I think it's actually a really big thing because it's painful. So if we go to edit, we're going to go to preferences. We have to be in single user mode, and we probably have to be in as the admin there. And we'll come down to our preferences, to reports and graphs. And this is typically something, if someone came in here generically and wasn't, I'm probably shouting. I feel like I'm yelling.
No.
Default formatting for reports is typically what's checked off, possibly in your client's QuickBooks file. You just want to uncheck that, and it will degray. I don't know what the word is. It will make this format button. I don't know what the word is for that. Degray it. If you've never seen that before or heard that term before, you can use it and pretend you made it up. And hopefully I don't sound like a silly pants. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the format button. And then from here, this is where you can go ahead and set your format preferences. And I certainly, if you are working with a client who wants to deal with loans or is dealing with a bank or any of that kind of stuff, to protect yourself, I am always putting in, for management purposes only, as your extra footer line, recommended. So that way, if ever you or your staff, because sometimes it may not be you, your staff sends off a financial report, I would call it not a financial statement, because it's not a financial statement unless it's been through the real financial statement steps. But I recommend that people put that extra footer line for management purposes only in this part of the company preference, so that people do not send out financial reports on your behalf as your staff without that disclaimer, if you will, on those reports. So that's a fun little tip for people.
Mm-hmm.
I really can't stand when people can tell when I'm really actually preparing the time on my reports.
Right.
Because sometimes it's like Stacy said, could be 6 in the morning, and then they think I'm crazier than I already am. And then certainly you can, the company name, report title, this again would be for the whole default for the reports as they stand. So just keep in mind, there may be opportunities where you want to memorize a report and change the report title. So it doesn't say profit and loss. It may say, you know, if it's a nonprofit, statement of functional expenses or statement of financial position, you know, that's something you would do on the specific report. So this probably seems like a kind of a dumb little tip or whatever, but a lot of people don't realize it. And then of course you can always change the fonts and numbers here under the fonts and numbers tab. It's not rocket science, but some people like to see negative numbers in bright red. Maybe that'll help stand out. I know that when I look at a report and if I see anything negative on a report, and I know my staff says to me, okay, final word, everything's good, and I see anything negative, and unless they've told me ahead of time that there's a reason why it's negative, it better be a stinking good one, number one. And number two, that's where we go a little bit shitballs crazy. And so maybe you want those negatives to come up in bright red, because the only thing that should be negative is that accumulated depreciation or maybe returns and allowances in your sales section, what we call contra accounts. But if they're not, then we want to really be careful about that. So bright red might be fun. So I don't know. I think it's a fun little thing. And of course, if you just want to reset everything, just hit revert. It'll bring it all back and you're good. You can just select OK and you're done. You can also, of course, set the preferences for your cash and accrual and many other things. But I think it's something definitely that people overlook and is pretty darn cool. And it's a great question. I'm glad somebody asked it because I was able to enjoy my time.
I was able to enjoy my time.
I really was.
Yeah, well, that's good. And just so that you know, there's no way to set that default in QBO. So you can't, I mean, you can customize your reports and you can do that, but there's no way to set default fonts and do that kind of stuff in QuickBooks Online. So you can set it to cash or accrual. That's the kind of a global default, but that's pretty much.
The chat room said I'm putting that disclaimer into the management reports in QBO too. So I don't know if they are
just in the management reports. You can do that with management reports, but generic, like the everyday reports, you cannot do.
Okay.
And they may be adding them. I haven't really used, I will be honest, I haven't really used management reports too much, but it might be something that you can set so that it always shows up in those management reports. But I know for just general purposes, just the general reports, it's not something that you can set as a default.
All right.
So I want to take a minute and I want to talk about Unidata. So,
huh? I was just in it. I'm just saying, because I'm on my MacBook. What up?
What up? Okay, so
I was demoing that information.
I should take a picture. I can't move the camera, but what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture. So I have my MacBook Air here. This is the computer that I have been running my business on for the last 3 years, right? This is an 11-inch MacBook Air, and I love it dearly. And I had a PC down here that I have always done a show with and that I have done webinars with, and it finally it died a couple weeks ago. I couldn't even flip between PowerPoint. So I've given up completely using Office. Also, I'm using Google Docs. I now do all the webinars and I present with Google Slides. Okay, bye. And so this today, a couple weeks ago, the PC died and I made the decision to go 100% Mac. And for like our family too. So, and we have a ton of computers. It's ridiculous. So Kevin, my husband, Kevin has like an HP laptop. I have, that's like a Windows 8. I have Windows 7. I have a Windows 8, a little laptop, that one that's right there. This one right here is a Chromebook. We have 2 11-inch MacBook Airs. We have 3 desktop PCs that I just have retired, and that there's this room right there in that room. So we have a lot of computers. And I realized that I needed to get rid of the PC because it just wasn't working. I couldn't even flip between slides. And so we decided to get I got a new 27-inch iMac. And so it's kind of a big deal because I've always sort of had my desktop and I've had my versions of QuickBooks Desktop installed locally. And so this was a big step for me in my practice, because if I need to access QuickBooks Desktop at all for now, unless I want to go back in the mechanical room where our furnace and all of the stuff that we don't use, basically that room is kind of a shit show back there. I have to go drag a PC out, find a monitor to connect it to, and hook it up. And so I made the conscious effort when I purchased the new iMac to go absolutely, completely 100% Mac. And so if I'm accessing, QuickBooks Enterprise, Premier, Pro, anything like that, I'm doing it via my Skyline Cloud Services, via Unidata now. And they have been absolutely 100% amazing. Every time I have asked, hey, this isn't working, can you help me fix this? Because I've had a couple issues over the last couple days. They have just jumped at it. So, and what's really cool is I can convert from QBO to desktop using my SkylineCloudServices.com account, and I can convert from desktop to QBO. They didn't say, no, we're not going to let you do that. They really bent over backwards, even though they're in the business of hosting QuickBooks Desktop files. They bent over backwards to make sure that I could still go in and take a desktop file and convert it to QBO. And so I'm just ridiculously pleased. Paul over in support, technical support, just absolutely amazing. And I just wanted to kind of put it out there that I'm all in with the Mac. I'm not installing Parallels at all, and it's just me and my Macs and my Skyline Cloud services. And I just wanted to give them a big shout out for their services because they were amazing. And no, someone on Twitter is asking, is it an Apple Watch? No, this is not an Apple Watch. This is a Pebble Watch. And so you can see here, I created, because you can make custom watch faces, I created one with a QBShow logo. So this is a Pebble Watch. I won this last year at QuickBooks Connect, the VIP Summit. I tweeted the most on one of the days, so I won this, and then the year before I won an Apple TV, so I'm an Apple fangirl all the way. I'm waiting for the second gen, the Gen 2 Apple Watch, because right before they announced the Apple Watch, I had joined the Kickstarter program for the new Pebble, which is a color watch face. So I'll be getting that in a couple weeks. So
I want to answer a question on the Twitters.
Yeah, go for it. Let's do it.
So stand by. Just give me
Yep.
Somebody asked, QBShow fan asked, do you encounter any
girl?
I know.
I love her.
Do you encounter any Mac versus compatibility issues on the road when you have to attach or hook up to show equipment?
Nope.
Stand by.
You getting the dongle?
This is the bag.
Are you getting the nice. That's nice. I should go get mine. I should go get my bag.
I'm just showing.
That's awesome. We should compare bags.
This
dongle.
Always. And then I also have the HDMI hookup for my Mac. And I also have, this is my internet one. So this connects if it's a hardwired internet.
Yep.
Then I have another HDMI cord. I likely stole that from someone, not on purpose. Then I have this one. I have the one that hooks up to an extended USB. I'm not really, I don't know, maybe another monitor, I suppose. I just bought everything. And then the only thing I am missing from my bag, which I have to probably order another one, is the is the connector for the I'm going to call it the prickly ending thing. When you use there's 2 cats. Now there's 3. 3 cats.
Oh, there are? Oh, okay. So the black one is Chloe. She's my fat kitten. And then left over is the gray one. And he's the one who's shaved like a majestic lion.
Can't see him now, but they were all at 1.3 in the screen.
You know what? Well, see cat drink. So I wish he would just move a little bit so that you could just see the end of his little puffy tail. Because that's the best part, is his little puffy tail. Come here.
And so I will say,
there it is. There's his little puffy tail. There.
Sorry. So the cats are laughing at him. So all I need to say is that I need about 15 more of these, because I saved someone on Fisher's Island who left their USB or their charger for their iPad in New Hampshire. And they said, Brolin, do you have an extra iPad charger? And I said, no, I don't, but I have something better. And so I literally, plugged in the USB and then plugged in the little dongle end here. And so now I'm -1. So now I only have 1. So I think I need some more of these. Anyway, whoever's listening that might be able to influence that would be.
Oh, you know what? I'll get you some more if they have them. So here's what happens with those little, the QuickBooks, like they call them octopuses, but I prefer to call them dongles.
I love them.
So what happens with those is last year they had them at all of the different booth, like the trade show booths. And so if you came up to the booth and you got a demo, we would give you one of those things, right? One of those little, hold it up again so people can see it.
What do you want, my dongle?
The little QuickBooks, the one that says with the QuickBooks logo that has the different things.
I got it right here. It's in my bag. And by the way, the bag always goes in the backpack, which I'm gonna get new backpacks. So.
And I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put it on pause. I'm gonna ask you a question and have you answer it. And while you do that, I'm gonna go. Yes, exactly. So this thing, hold it. This thing that Dawn has. Back it up a little bit. There you go. So they were giving these away at all of the Intuit at the conferences last year, and so I would put them in my back pocket and then give them to the person after we would do the demo. And so at the end of the day, I would leave the booth and I would have like a whole bunch sticking out like out of the back of my back pocket. And then I would take them out of my pocket and set them on, like next to the TV or whatever, my hotel room. And so I ended up with tons of those. I have given more of those things away and gotten so much business because I make somebody take my card when I get them. So if I'm at any of the conferences, Dawn, I will grab some for you.
So for me, selfishly.
I'm going to get them just for you and then send them all to you.
Yes, thank you. Do that.
No problem. I don't know if they're going to have them, though. That's the thing. I want to see
how many you can get.
Well, I can't be greedy and weird because then, like, Allison will kind of, like, she might scold me a little bit. Or Donna Duncan.
I would share.
Dee Dee, I would be afraid of, like, Dee Dee would be like, those, you have to get a demo to get those. So anyway, I'm going to ask you the question. We've got about 13 minutes left of the show, and I'm going to run up because I want to show my rig and why I love those little things that you just had.
All right.
Okay, so here's a question. Can I have QuickBooks Accountant Edition 2012? And I love this question. Can I have QuickBooks Accountant Edition 2012 and 2015 installed on the same PC? Can each program have a QuickBooks file open at the same time? So I'm going to let you answer that, and I will be right back.
All right. So I love that question. And what I would say now, we have a couple of different scenarios that I would protest out there to people. One of them certainly being not in Stacy's scenario, but definitely in my scenario, because I still do at the office work on the PC. So I have 3 screens and all of that. I would love a MacBook. That would be super fun. And I do love what Stacy was showing as far as the demo goes. For those that maybe have a gigantic monitor with a Mac, which you typically do, you could open up those multiple windows, which I think is very cool for QBO. So I'm definitely encouraged by that. For me, I do open both of those versions. Typically, I am working in Citrix. So typically, I'm working in Citrix. I can have both of those open at the same time. And so that's pretty cool. And so, but for me, if I want to have multiple companies open, of course, you can do the secondary Wow, I saw that. You can, Stacy, you can. It's not fair that you can't see what I can see right now, but whatever. So anyway, having the secondary company open is the way it's going to end up happening. When I have the Citrix open, I have one version open if I want to, and I can have the other open directly on my PC. So now Stacy has with the Mac, she can open up the 2 different ones right in the Citrix. Which works out, and so she can move one, 2012 on one monitor, or you can split it somehow. Probably I don't know how to split it on the Mac screen because I don't have a big fancy machine like you do.
Well, I just got it. This was a big deal. Like I was a little stressed. Like this made me sweat ordering this. I'm just gonna let you know. Like before I hit submit, I hardly ever ask Kevin like, is it okay if I buy this? But I was like, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? So yeah, it was kind of a big deal.
The answer is yeah. So yeah. I mean, you can do it, and it's really cool with the Citrix if you have the Citrix because you can have even more open.
Yes.
You need that many, but I do have one client that we have, he's got 2 different QuickBooks, Pro accounts, and they're subsidiaries of each other. So you have to have one open and the other. And so because I can't do it locally, I can have a secondary company open. Sometimes I do open it in Citrix, one in Citrix and one on my PC. It's a total pain in the neck, but you can do it.
Yeah. So the reason why I had so many PCs, not that anybody asked, was because I had one PC that had, and I have never had QuickBooks Pro. I've always had QuickBooks Accountant. And so I have one PC that has 90, well, and I don't think back then there was, so maybe I did have Pro or whatever it was back in, I have like 98 to like 2002 installed on one machine, and that one has been retired for a long time. And then the one that used to be right here had 2003 to 2006 installed on it. Oh no, 2003 to 2008 installed on it. And then the one that I just retired had 2009 to 2015. So you can have, and then it had all the same additions of Enterprise Accountant too. So I had QuickBooks Premier Accountant, and then I had Enterprise Accountant as well installed on those. But now I don't need to worry about it because I just have my Unidata account, or my Skyline Cloud Services account. But I want to show my little rig and why I love those things. So this is my little bag. Did you get one of these?
No, I don't get.
You should have gotten one of these. Anyway, so I got one of these little bags, and I love this bag. Like Kira and I my daughter and I kind of fight over these. Like I sort of gave her one, and then I took it back because I got 2 of them. So this is my little gear bag. But why I love those little QuickBooks things is because when I'm traveling, I usually just carry like a little wristlet instead of a purse. Normally you can see like with my phone, I have like this keeps all my cards in it. So I don't carry a purse when I'm traveling. It just has like my Amex and my Google Wallet card and my driver's license or my passport card when I'm traveling. So this is what I usually have. But if I am traveling, or I go out somewhere, I usually grab a wristlet so that I can have, maybe a little lip gloss and some cash in it if I need some cash. And so this is my Mophie charger, and this fits perfectly in a little wristlet or in a pocket if you need it. And so I have my Mophies, and then I also have an extra Mophie because I've never not had someone ask if they can have a charge. And then I also have a little bit longer one. So have you seen this one, Dawn?
You're gonna go over this way.
Have you seen this one? It's a little bit different than this one.
I got nothing.
I gotta get you one of these because I have a couple extras. So I have these and I have these, and
I can't publicize it, but
yeah. So these are my rigs, and here I have a cat she's right here, right in front of the screen, and here's her. Here she is right here. So that's my bag of goodies, and I have all the little dongles that you have. I didn't steal anybody's HDMI cord.
SNH. You better put that thing in a place that no one will ever be able to find it.
I got someplace I can put it.
I spy that thing.
I've got someplace. You better watch out because I have someplace I know I can put it. I'm just saying, wherever it will be, I shall retrieve. But that's a whole nother story. We're not talking about that here today. Allison for one of those. Okay, so I'm
already all over Kim.
That's cool. We got the umbrellas and stuff. Okay, so I have one more question. We have just enough time. We have about 6 minutes left, and this is it's very confusing.
I want to ask it.
Okay, go ahead.
I just want to ask you something.
Okay.
I'm not reading this at all.
Okay.
Very confusing to use Chrome versus Internet Explorer. Okay. As an example, Joni just said that you cannot add users in Internet Explorer. Yet I have been told that we need to import desktop data in IE, right? So when you're converting, you got to have IE open. Even I know that. Just saying. Is there anything that tells a person which to use in which situation? So I know Chrome is the preferred, but there are some things you have to use IE. But I think really it's not. In QBO, I use incognitive was what I was going to say, which is not the right word. I use incognito Chrome. Every single time I use QBO. And you know what? I never have a problem with QBOA.intuit.com. Or I know you say office.intuit.com.
No, I don't.
Or whatever.
I don't say that.
I don't know what you say.
I say QBO.intuit.com. That's how I log in all the time.
So, okay. So I do incognito.
Right.
Every single time.
Yes.
I do QBOA.intuit.com and I can get into all of my clients' QuickBooks Online files. So as far as Chrome goes, that's my recommendation. And I'm not the QBO expert, but I do know some stuff.
You do. And I use incognito. And the reason why is, I mean, if I use my regular Chrome user, I can't log in. I can't even open up one of the Intuit sites because I need to clear my cache.
Right.
So I use
It's not a big deal to do it though, right? I mean,
no, and I don't care. Yeah, and it doesn't matter. But I have different users. Like I have a Chrome user that's just the Stacy K app demos one. I have one that's just for the QBShow. Like I have Chrome, and it's got everything all logged in, so I don't have to remember passwords or anything like that. So like I just use my QBShow and it takes me, I have my links to YouTube, to Google Hangouts, to Google Plus, to all that stuff, all the stuff that we do for the show, I use with my QBShow person. So the difference between using Chrome and using QuickBooks or Internet Explorer, the issue with Internet Explorer is, and I think this, once I started doing it via incognito and accepting there are sometimes that when you get an invite as an accountant user, I have found that incognito does not work, but if I go to Internet Explorer, it does work. That being said, I think it doesn't matter because I think it's just that user that I'm opening my email up in is so jacked up. If I open up my email in incognito and accept the invite, it works perfectly fine.
Right.
The only time that you need to use Internet Explorer when it comes to QuickBooks Online is if you are converting from QuickBooks Online to QuickBooks Desktop. That is, and then if you are using the old version of converting from QB Desktop to QBO, where you're going to file, save file as QuickBooks Online, and you're doing that, and then you're going into the gear icon and saying import desktop, though you need to use Internet Explorer. Those should be the only two times that you need to use Internet Explorer when it comes to QBO. Yes.
I want to say something that I did myself.
Yes.
And this is a really simple thing, but for those of you who are not experts, I converted a QuickBooks Desktop to QuickBooks Online last Monday night. So it was a week ago, so 8 days ago. And in order to do that, you have to go to the help menu. No, the company menu and go to export thing. What is it called exactly? It's not file. You would think you would go to file to export your QuickBooks Desktop data.
No, you go to the company menu. So it depends. So if it's an older version of QuickBooks, like 2007 and later or 2008 and later, you're going to go to your company menu, and it's called Beanstalk. You're going to go to your company menu and go export your file to QuickBooks Online. But if you have QuickBooks Enterprise Solutions or you have an older version of Pro or Premier, you have to go to the File menu, and then you have to go to create a copy, and then you have to save the copy as for QuickBooks Online, and it'll create what's like an oe.qbw file. So there's a specific way, and we have a video about how to do that, how to convert from Enterprise to QBO on the QBShow YouTube page.
I was just bragging.
I know, that's amazing that you did that. I love that.
It was cool. Had a good time.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that. So it was good. It was good times.
All right. So I think we're done. I have an appointment. I have an app that I have to do a consult with in Australia in 1 minute. So
all right. We'll do it.
Same time, same place.
You got it.
And I know I'll talk to you. And I want to thank everybody for doing the show. We're going to I'll announce some t-shirt winners. I'm going to say I was a little late doing the t-shirts this last week, and I apologize, but they went out yesterday, and I will get on that a little bit sooner this week. So I want to thank you guys, and don't forget hashtag QBShow Live. If I see you doing that on the Twitters, I'll get you a shirt. And then if you wear the shirt at Scaling New Heights, you could win some special prizes from Avalara, Fundera, T-Sheets, Skyline Cloud Services, QVinci. Who am I forgetting? I think that's it.
That's everybody. And I just want to say that I will tell you about how Monday night goes at Carnegie Hall with Emily.
Yes.
17 on Monday, and she'll be performing at Carnegie Hall on her birthday.
That is amazing.
Yep, and M Wood will be there. Fundera, baby.
Oh, exciting. I expect some pictures on the Facebook or on the Twitters.
They'll be on. We won't tell anyone that we took any pictures, but yes.
Okay. All right.
So,
all right.
Have fun. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. Peace out, everybody. Buscadan Laser.
Throw away thumb drives, no attachments. Get the files anywhere when you're permitted access. What's the matter? Frustrated with the hassle? Jump up in the cloud and join us in the castle.
High up in the cloud.